Am I a dreamy man because I dream too much?
Yes.
How did I get here? What is this place? I thought, feeling a sense of panic welling up inside of me. I look around the room, seeing several windows along the south, east, and west walls that all had thick iron bars installed over them on the outside. There are other people in here with me too, some of them sitting on the floor against the wall with their head in their hands, and some seem to be pacing aimlessly around the room while occasionally muttering to themselves. I decide to walk around the room to try and find a door to leave, or at least something that can give me an idea of where the hell I am right now. I walk toward the southern wall of barred windows to see if I can at least recognize where I am, but as I'm walking, I see an opening in the southeast corner of the room, and I run over to it when I see a door just inside the opening. When I reach the door, however, I realize that it must be locked from the outside as I push on the push bar and nothing happens. Even so, I still continue pushing on the push bar in the middle of the door while also banging my fists on the window slit, which is at eye level and infused with crisscrossing wires. Hey! Somebody! Where am I? There must be some mistake! I shout, continuing to pound on the door. I stop banging on the door for a moment and look through the wired window slit expectantly, waiting to see if anyone will come. Just outside of the door, I can see that it looks like a winding staircase of concrete stairs that you'd see in a fire escape, complete with the flickering, cold white light of fluorescent lamps at each landing and the yellow strips at the edge of each stair. I wait another few moments and still don't see or hear anyone coming, but I do notice a little plastic placard on the wall just outside of the door, and I try to read it. The words are difficult to read because I'm looking at it from the side, but those yellow golden arches in the shape of an M at the top are unmistakable. McDonald's? What the? I say to myself quietly, trailing off as I wonder about the implications. I strain my eyes a bit harder and decide I really need to try and read the rest of whatever is written on the placard. My eyes grow wide as I read. Level 4, Livestock Room and High Flight Risk Security Center. Do not interact with the livestock prisoners unless you are a trained McDonald's guard staff member with explicit permission to do so. This door is to remain locked at all times. I stumble backwards away from the door, beginning to hyperventilate as I feel my heart rate quickly start to race. This can't be. What the hell is going on here? Livestock prisoners? What does that even mean? My mind is flooded with incredulous questions and thoughts as I continue stumbling backwards, feeling dizzy and weak. I back up against the wall across from the door I had just looked out of, and I slide down to the floor, putting my head in my hands as I try to calm myself down. Now I understand the other people in here doing the same thing as me, struggling to grasp at the reality of being here. My mind doesn't seem to want to wrap around the horrific implications of that placard, no matter how hard I try to make sense of it. After a few moments of rocking back and forth with my head in my hands, I decide that I have to take action. I can't just sit here in complacency. I can't just resign myself to this fate or accept it as my new reality. No. I'll fight tooth and nail with unrivaled fury to get out of this prison, even if it's the last thing I do. My wife needs me, and I need to tell her to stay away from McDonald's at all costs, no exceptions. Wait, my wife! If this is a jail or prison of some kind, there must be a phone around here somewhere, and I can call her. Maybe she can come get me out somehow and explain that this must be a mistake. I jump up, filled with renewed vigor and motivation as I run around the room, looking for any sign of a phone on the wall. But soon, I realize that all of the walls in this prison are just cold, hard concrete, and there are no phones to speak of. Damn it! Ugh! I scream and slam my fist against the wall. How can these people just sit here and resign themselves to a fate like this? Seeing them walking around, or maybe moping around would be a more apt description, like zombies, infuriates me. This is no way to live. We are not zombies, prisoners, or slaves to some fast food company. Or are we? I suddenly have a realization as I remember the saying, "We are what we eat." It all makes so much sense now. The livestock prisoners, the McDonald's prison, the zombie-like people, we're eating ourselves. We're draining all of the life and energy out of our own lives by caving in to the convenience of fast food instead of making the effort to live a healthy lifestyle and earn our energy and strength. I look around the room again, scanning the windows to see if I can find some way out of this hell. Sure enough, there on the southwest corner of the room is a window-mounted air conditioning unit high up on the wall. I step a few paces to the left and look out of the barred window to see how far the drop is, and to my pleasant surprise, I can see the roof of the third floor below. I could jump onto the roof and then make my way down to the ground. That's got to be my only way out of here. I immediately run over to it and look up underneath it, reaching up to touch it, but then realizing it's just barely out of my reach. Shoot! There's got to be a chair or table or something around here that I can use, I say to myself as I spin around, looking everywhere in the room for something to stand on. Unfortunately, after looking around the entire prison room filled with zombie-like people, I confirm that there is nothing in here but concrete walls and floors, and people, if you can even call them that anymore. I turn back around in the direction of the air conditioning unit and notice that just off to the right is a person lying on their side, eyes wide open, staring emptily as they whisper quietly to nobody in particular. Normally, I'd not even consider something like this, but given the circumstances, I'm willing to do things out of the ordinary to get out of here. I bend over and whisper, "I'm so sorry, but this is for a good purpose," to the person lying on the ground, and then I grab their shirt and drag them across the floor until they are directly underneath the air conditioning unit. Stepping onto their arm like a step stool, I can finally reach the air conditioning unit and I begin rocking it back and forth. It's working, I think to myself as I hear the groaning and creaking of the metal frame of the window. I rock it back and forth a little harder, and then the air conditioning unit breaks free from the window frame and falls to the roof of the third floor below, with a loud thud, sending a light cloud of dust floating into the air. Right away, I'm able to feel a breeze of warm air coming in from the hole above me, filled with the scent of trees in bloom and fresh-cut grass. It's heavenly. I jump up and grasp the window frame, pulling myself up and out of the window. I feel the breeze even stronger across my face and arms now, caressing me sweetly and rejuvenating me, reminding me that as crazy as this is, I'm doing the right thing. Aiming just to the side of the shattered air conditioner, I jump down and land on the roof, falling over, but then quickly jumping up and dusting myself off. I know there won't be much time now. Surely the staff of this insane prison heard that, and they'll be coming to investigate soon. So I quickly run over to the edge of the roof and look down. Unfortunately, getting down to the ground won't be quite as easy. I can see that the only way down to the ground to make my escape is to go straight down 3 stories to the hard concrete below. The problem is, I need to be able to run away after reaching the ground, and jumping down from this height will surely result in broken legs or feet. How can I get down? I can hear my heartbeat racing in my ears and feel it beating in my throat as I know my time is running out to get out of here. Looking over the edge again, I can see that both the third floor and second floor windows also have bars jutting out from them, and my stomach flips as I realize what I have to do. I need to hang over the edge and take a leap of faith, dropping down and catching the bars of the third floor windows, then drop again to the bars of the second floor windows, and then finally drop to the hard concrete below. I fight with my mind internally as it shouts, "Are you freaking crazy? This isn't the movies. You'll die if you try this. It's too difficult and way too dangerous." But despite this inner monologue trying to prevent me from making this daredevil escape, I push through and swing my legs over the edge of the roof. I wiggle my feet around below me, searching for the bars of the third floor window beneath me. But as I look, I can see that the bars are too far for my feet to reach them. It looks like I really will have to take a leap of faith and let go of the roof to fall and grab the bars. I swallow dryly, making a loud gulping sound, as I try to prepare myself for the stomach-churning drop. Before I have too much time to dwell on the insanity of what I'm about to do, I let go of the roof, and I'm suddenly in free fall and gaining speed quickly. You know the feeling you get in your stomach when you start rolling down from the top of a steep roller coaster? Yeah, that doesn't even come close to describing the feeling I'm experiencing while falling quickly to the bars of the third floor window. Before I know it, the bars are in front of me, and I reach out to grab them, cutting my arm along one of the other bars and spraining my right wrist from the force of stopping so quickly. Ah! I shout loudly in pain, swaying back and forth, barely hanging on to the window's iron bars. I can feel the warm, wet blood running down my arm and dripping from my elbow down to the ground below. Breathing several times quickly to try and take my mind away from the pain, I feel sweat rolling down the side of my face and tears welling up in my eyes. This is freaking crazy, I think, but no going back now. I take one more deep breath and prepare myself to fall to the bars of the second floor window, knowing that the longer I wait here hanging on, the more likely I am to fall or not have the strength to actually catch the bars on the next window below. Acting more than thinking, I suddenly feel myself in free fall again and realize that I've already let go, and soon I need to grasp onto the next bars below. As I'm realizing this fact, however, I see the second floor window fly past me already, and I scream, "No!" and reach up as fast as my body can. I miss the bars with my sprained right hand, but luckily, I'm able to catch the bars with my left hand at the very last moment. The intense force jerks me down hard, though, and my left hand slips, leaving just 3 sweaty fingertips barely hanging on. That's it. There's no coming back from this now. It'd be impossible for me to pull myself back up, but then again, my goal is to reach the ground anyway, so I might as well embrace the inevitable. I quickly take another deep breath and take the last leap of faith by letting go completely once again. Thud! I hit the concrete sidewalk of the ground, sending shockwaves of pain from my heels all the way up to my teeth as they clack together and I roll backwards into the asphalt of the street. There I lay, in the street, on my back, looking up at those barred windows of the 4th floor where this nightmare started. I see the zombie-like people looking down at me longingly, but as much as I want to feel bad for them, I know they're in there due to their own choices. And if they want out like I am now, then they also have to take a leap of faith and shed blood, sweat, and tears it takes to break free from this consumer prison. It's not easy, but it's possible, and I've just proved it. Despite all of the pain I'm in, I start to laugh as I'm lying there on the ground. I made it! Woo! I shout in triumph and then laugh some more, crying tears of joy and laughter now. Rolling onto my side, I slowly stand up and then look back and forth down both sides of the deserted street, picking the eastbound side, and I start walking to go find my wife. One thing is for sure, we are never touching any fast food again. Hi, fellow dreamers. Thanks for listening and joining the Dreamy Man on his journey through this dream. Please do him a favor by liking and subscribing with that little notification bell so you'll be notified every time he falls asleep and starts dreaming again. See you next time, and may all of your dreams come true.